Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Keith from Almost in Full Color, and today you see Terry over there. Y'all know Terry, and we got a special guest with us. We got B.
What's up?
His name is B. That's what you guys will know him
Hey,
as.
man,
So you guys go ahead and say what's up to the people.
AKA Alpha.
Yeah,
and
you don't
Omega,
know him as
AKA
B.
Chef Boyardee B.
So we don't know his real name. He's a stranger. See, now we've given him too much power, so we're gonna need you to stop.
All right, so today
that's
we're
a little
going
bit
to play a
too
little
much.
Crucible and have a
Just-
little discussion about Destiny 2. So, that's what we'll be doing for you all today. And we want to start off, so for those who aren't that familiar with Destiny, Destiny 2 dropped in 2017. Originally was met with some positive of remarks, but after about a month, it got a lot of backlash for the in-game content. And now we fast forward a little bit. We got Curse of Osiris, which was super trash. Throw it in the dumpster. We got Warmind.
Wow.
And Warmind was better,
a little harsh.
but after Curse of Osiris, you can't really go anywhere but up. So, and now we got Forsaken.
Hold on.
I don't remember a single.
How you gonna talk about our
mission
boy
from that
Osiris
thing.
like that?
So now
I played it.
Let's back up here real quick.
exactly why he can't
just
remember
trashed
Osiris because he
Osiris.
brainwashed himself.
No,
so
'cause
he
it
couldn't
wasn't
remember
memorable.
That horrible DLC. So now we got Forsaken.
The best DLC I've ever
we
played.
got Forsaken, which dropped, and after Forsaken, Activision came out and they said they weren't very happy with the monetary success of Destiny 2. So the first question that we're gonna kind of go over right now is how we all feel about the current state of Destiny 2. If we're happy with it, do we feel like it's a success in terms of game? Like, do we think it's a successful game in entertaining us? But forewarning, before this match starts, all right, Terry has blessed us by coming back to the PS4, and if his gameplay sucks, he apologizes. And if all of ours sucks, we all apologize. We're normally not bad.
No, they have no excuse. I have not played on console and given me about almost 8 months now. Okay, so they can't. No, don't give them no pass. Give me
It's
a
just
pass.
gonna be a wild ride for me.
Y'all seen my
We'll see what
on
happens.
PC.
All right, so this is about to be really wild. So so B, how we feeling about
what was the
Destiny at
specifics
this
of the
current
question
juncture?
again?
I mean, just how do you feel about D2 right now? What's your
I feel
thoughts
like it's
on-
in a really good
on
place,
the current state
but
of
that's
D2
just coming
for
from
you?
a standpoint of somebody I think who's played D1 pretty much consistently. I mean, this is pretty much the only game I play, so the weapon system was the part originally in D2 that had me really displeased. I wasn't a fan of that at all, but they brought it back, so I'm pretty happy with where it is. The only thing I need to see are a couple things that would iron out the Crucible and maybe focus a little bit more on the story. And I think the game will be in a spectacular place.
Interesting. I might have to agree a little bit. When D2 first came out, well, let me backtrack real quick. When I first heard about the new weapon system, and they were focusing on primary play, I was kind of happy, just because of the fact, I mean, you come from D1, and I mean, hey, we all know how that went.
That was a good time.
Shotguns. Exactly. It was shotguns, secondaries, abilities and everything were just kind of ruining Crucible at that point. And then they were like, hey, we'll do primary weapons. I was happy at first. Now, after playing for so long as I did, I was not as happy. The way D2 is now, I don't really know. Again, it's done the whole Destiny 1 life cycle thing where you have two not that great DLCs. Then you have this big expansion that is
They needed the
amazing
year.
and essentially how the game should have been at launch. It's in a good place now. Yeah. It's in a good place now, but will it sustain? I don't know. If they continue like this, there's too many people with black eyes from Bungie and Activision and all that other things. I don't know the business side of it, so I'm not going to go into it. But there's just too many black eyes that people have received because of this game. I think a lot of people aren't happy with that, so you won't see the same people come back.
Yeah, I'm currently happy with it as a whole. I mean, when you look at when it first launched and now, but there are some things that I do dislike, and the one thing for me is that exotics don't feel exotic to me. In terms of design and concept, a lot of them are cool, but I don't feel like there is a Red Death for me right now. For those who don't know, it's my first exotic ever. So, but no, I don't feel like there's like a G-Horn. I don't feel like there's a Vex Mythic class. I don't feel like there's that like just exotic. Like it's an like you cannot travel without this thing. Like it's something. I used to run with the Crest of Alpha Loopy all the time. Like I couldn't put that down. That was my thing. Like I don't feel like I haven't come across an exotic that made me like really happy that I picked it up. Most exotics I just pick up and put back down shortly afterwards. So my only thing
most
really
exotics
is like just weapons, like and a little bit of story, but I feel like we'll get to that a little bit later. What you about to say about the exotics?
I mean, exotics have always been those one things that you're just like, man, exotics are awesome. I always want this one exotic. Unfortunately, D1, for the entire D1, the one that everybody had to have was Gallahorn. If you didn't have a Gallahorn, you were worthless. That icebreaker for a little bit.
Oh,
I mean,
man, I totally
let's be
disagree
real.
with
If
that.
you didn't have a Gallahorn, what were you doing?
I feel like that was just a staple.
A lot of people, that's how a lot of people viewed it. No, that's how a lot of people viewed it. I mean, if you had a
in the rage,
you're pretty. Yeah.
and that's
you
pretty.
had the
I mean,
truth
they
and
had,
crucible like that. That thing was amazing.
yeah, and of course they've always had their ups and downs with nerfs and stuff like that since D1. I don't know if they're still under control now. It seems like they might still fall off a little bit, but I don't know. D2 is in a good spot now. Whether it will sustain, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Piggybacking off of that whole Activision thing and their feelings, do you all feel that there is a way that Activision, they spoke of possibly monetizing the game a little bit more aggressively? Is there a way that they do that and not piss a bunch of people off? Is there a way for any type of monetization to be in there?
Nice.
No, so hold on. Let's go back to a statement that was said in D1. All purchases that dealt with monetization were going to be able to pay for future DLC. We have not seen any kind of like ramifications of that. We haven't seen a free DLC. Essentially, we haven't seen a free DLC from all this stuff that they said that was going to end up happening. I'm pretty sure that's probably Activision, but do I see that happening? No, I don't think so. Activision's too money hungry. It's a company, I understand that, but I don't think that will
So
happen.
based off of the sins of D1, you feel that there is no way that they implement any type of monetization and can do it in a way that doesn't feel intrusive, I guess, to your gameplay.
No, they started off D2 with horrible monetization stuff. I mean, essentially, it was almost pay to win at some point in time. You know, if you wanted some good gear, you had to pay for all the gear. Can they do it? No, I don't think so. Just because of the way it is, but I mean, hey, you never know. They can probably come in and surprise us, but to be honest, anything Activision or Bungie does, it's just like, they're gonna get chewed out and spit up.
What the hell? Oh. Yo, he just, there was a rocket that just went in there. I'm like, why is that guy alive?
Oh my god.
He ate that rocket.
He just freaking watched the entire thing.
Yes. So B, is there a way that you think that they do this? Is there a way that you think that they do this and not?
What's that? Monetize the game or? Man. There's no possible way because it comes with the territory. I don't know if they didn't meet expectations or if they just didn't like meet what they like they had to have made at least good numbers, just probably not what they wanted to do.
I did like some soft research, and off of sales at least, I think they did around 425.
Oh, poor them.
425 million. Off of like just sales of
Not Forsaken.
of not.
Oh
It's
yeah,
hard
I
to find
got you.
like what Eververse does. It's just hard to find out how much people spend on the Eververse and stuff like that. But off of basic sales, I think it's about like 125 million. And of course, anybody watching, if you know a way to figure this type of stuff out, my number is off. Please let me know. I find that stuff interesting. But I think the only way that they find a way to possibly monetize this game and do something not that intrusive is to do the Iron Banner thing, to where they're just putting in emotes that, I mean, I personally don't think emotes are gonna like kill your gameplay. But some people really wanted that
I want the
$10
emote,
Iron
but
Banner
I'm not
emote.
willing
Some
to
people
spend
won't.
any money on that.
So that's like the only way I see them. People will get mad about it, but that's the only way I see them doing it and not like really upsetting people.
See, I think the thing is, I think a lot of people are following Epic's like, they feel like they can be like Epic currently. Epic is selling skins for $20. Granted, their game is free, but they're selling skins for like $20. But that's also funding a lot of things. Like, they've given back into the community about it. Whereas Bungie and Activision, we haven't really seen much. I mean, maybe development-wise, things have been kind of picked up. And maybe we won't see it in Destiny 2. Maybe it'll be something we'll see in Destiny 3. But I don't think they can do that currently. They can't sit there and hope that we can see everything that's happening from all the monetization stuff they've done. The Iron Banner thing and all that other stuff, and hope for Destiny 3. They need to do changes now if they want to continually have people stick around. So if they're going to do monetization, they need to do it right. And by right, I mean they need to make sure they just don't put everything behind.
I was just gonna say, but like, what?
So speaking of
like, based upon their sales numbers, they said they were gonna do some forms, but how is that even possible right now, given the state? Like, they're gonna drive this game into the ground if they don't start focusing on story and, like I said, some of their other practices, like why isn't there a leaderboard for the freaking Crucible at this point? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Easy fix. Like, that would get more people interested.
True.
It would make it at least a little bit more competitive.
I agree. Like, there are some aspects of the game that are definitely missing. I mean, we can't really sit here and compare everything to Call of Duty. I mean, they are partners with Activision, and Activision does have all these Call of Duty franchises underneath them, but even they are having issues with their leaderboard, so it's difficult to say. I think they need a lot more than just trying to monetize everything. They need to get an in-game chat for console. Yes, PC has it, but console needs one. They need a way that people need to look in-game for people. Like, there's a lot more that they need to do and need to not worry about as far as monetization goes. Like, there's a lot of quality of life things that need to be done before they start worrying about monetizing. And I don't know if y'all seen it, but a lot of the developers for Bungie, they came out, they're like, we don't really care that Activision feels like, we're not meeting up to the standards of money. As long as the game is great to our community, that's what we care more about. And that kind of spoke volumes to what they're trying to do, and they don't really care for it. But at the end of the day, it's all a company, it's all a money business. Money talks. And unfortunately, Bungie is not big enough to have their own. It is, and money talks. I mean, there's nothing. That's just how it goes. And without money, I mean, what else do you have, really? But I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But I don't know if we can wait for it. We'll see what happens.
So I think you guys started to answer this already, but what is it that they need to do in these future DLCs that are, on the horizon that, you want to kind of keep you intrigued a little bit right now? Like, you guys said a lot of stuff needs to change. What is it
I can give you a play-by-play. What do you?
Go ahead, go ahead.
You started to already answer.
Right,
so,
man, like I said, first thing they need to do is, if this game is going to be considered competitive, like, get that leaderboard back in here. I don't know if you want to put it in the load up menu, I don't know where you want to put it, but it should be easily accessible. Secondly, they need to separate the Crucible. I don't want to play Control sometimes, but sometimes I do. And if that's what happens, then like let me choose it. Another thing, focus on the story. The combat is there. The smooth mechanics is there. The gameplay is there. Do that. Focus on the story. Give us a couple of exotics. Give us some new perks. Like other than that, I'm pretty set. Oh, new locations as well, I guess.
Okay. Make the game better. I mean, of course, quality of life things. I mean, they need to work on an in-game system. Oh, we'll kind of just keep going. So yeah, so you need to work on an in-game system to have everybody kind of link up more.
Right.
I mean, their console doesn't have one. PC only has a chat system, but that isn't the greatest either.
Yeah.
Like, there should be a board or
sure.
something in the tower that says, "Hey, I'm trying to do this.
Right.
Who else wants to do this with me?" Granted, it's probably limited to the fact of one, it's a shared space of only 25 people, I think it is. So maybe you probably can't get the same people in that lobby, but maybe make it so it's across the entire game. I don't know. There has to be something for that. As far as comp goes, it's probably something that they probably need to work on. But as far as comp, making the game competitive, I don't think currently Destiny is built for competitive play. I know a lot of people want it to happen. I don't think it's currently built for it. Bring back Charles. Like if you look in the so I can't do it because I'm not the lead. But if you look at the private matches, like you don't have enough to customize to make it into a competitive game. You need to be able to limit some things. Like there's a lot of things that are overpowered that shouldn't be in the game or shouldn't be happening during a match. You want to also make it interesting to watch. Destiny 1 was pretty interesting to watch when it had everything it needed, but you had to limit some things. Allow people to limit that. My thing is just mostly quality of life stuff. Stop worrying about 4K. Go freaking 1080p, 60 FPS.
Yeah,
if you want a competitive game,
oh my god, if this game had dedicated servers, all that so many issues. That's more money. That's not going to happen. That's literally not going to happen.
But then again, maybe we don't know. Yeah, maybe we don't know exactly. Maybe dedicated servers were probably the worst thing ever. Who knows? But it needs to be something that they need to look into. Maybe it could be the greatest thing ever, and maybe it'll help out with a lot of connection issues.
No. We're back in Crucible.
No. I think it's still Crucible. But quality of life issues, pretty much. That's the main thing I can see that they need to work on. After that, then start worrying about story and all this other stuff. I know story is kind of something they're starting to put on the back burner as far as future DLCs go, but this game is rich in it. Show some of it instead of reading cards and stuff like that. Show some of it in game. Let us see that. Let's see what y'all are talking about in these cards.
To hear the lore
that they say.
or my name is Bife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like the triumphs. Like I like the triumph system. Like this is a great step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean you
but why wasn't it in the game in the beginning? Should have been in the game. So I don't know. Quality of life issues primarily is probably the first thing, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
after
I think the next DLC is called Black Armory, so I'm like just really hoping that DLC really brings some.
If they came with new perks,
weapon changes.
If it came with new perks,
off the wall, cool stuff. Like new just it's called Black Armory, so like I feel like this in the weapon category just needs to be something just unseen. But I mean, outside of that, just I feel like the presentation of the Destiny 2 campaign, the Dominus Gall. I think the presentation was great. It was a story I really didn't care for a whole lot, but it was great. And maybe if they kind of, even Forsaken had it was definitely a good presentation of a story. So just something along those lines, because right now, you know, D3 is said to be in full development, so I do feel like you gotta I do feel like you have to like start to kind of show off right now, like why to get D3, and there's nothing better to show off why to get it than a great story. And not leave it up to the lore cards to really make you interested in it. Like being Terry was saying, a lot of stuff you kind of have to go and search through, you know, other sources. It makes you wonder if you're playing the same game, because you're like, hold on, like how is all this a thing? Like I played this game for I don't know how many hours, and I couldn't tell you how the Awoken were made. I had to go on YouTube and find out like how the Awoken were birthed, and it was like, well, that I couldn't have told you that was a thing, but yeah, just trying to flesh out some more story to make me interested in the D3 is what's gonna like get me to come back. They have a lot of lore and a great interesting backstories for a lot of stuff, so it's just a matter of presenting that in a way that enamors people and keeps them locked in. Thank God. Sure. All right, my first group of the day. So pretty much one of the next bigger things that we're going to talk about is well, what is going to bring you back for D3 right now? Like, what is it? The leaks came out from the credible source, and although we can't say that this is a real thing or not, we can play make believe. So we can speculate. So for those who don't know, the rumors are as follows: that Europa will be a patrol zone. There will be a PvPvE or PvEPvP. Essentially, if anyone who's played the Division or something like that is something, they said it won't be like the Dark Zone, but it's something to where you can fight enemies out there or you can fight each other. They're said to be doing something along those lines, and there are going to be some Guardians who can utilize the darkness. But I mean, just outside of that, those leaks and everything, what's going to bring you back for D3? At this point, I think we all agree that it's in a decent space right now. It's still some blemishes, some kinks to work out, but what is the number one thing that's going to bring you back for D3, given these leaks that are being put out that D3 is kind of
don't put out D2 as a revision. Don't start off with something great as far as D1 goes, and then be like, we're gonna revert and go casual. Like, don't do that now. We thought they learned their lesson a long time ago.
The leak said that they're gonna be more geared towards hardcore players and have more RPG elements. But given Activision's statement with how they're not happy, makes me wonder if that's even gonna be something they'll allow. I don't know. It's definitely gonna be weird.
Why would they do
don't
that?
Listen to Activision. I know they're your publisher. Don't listen to them. I know there's only so much you can do, but don't listen to them.
So for me, it's definitely gonna be. It's definitely gonna be telling me like D3 needs to end or D2 needs to end in a way. And I don't even mind if it's a cliffhanger, to be honest with you, but something that makes me like if a leak's out saying that darkness will be a utilizable source of power, like how like I'm hoping at the end of this they give me something traveler based, because if we're gonna be able to use the darkness, I imagine they have to tell me why I would even go that route. We've been with the traveler.
I need some answers. I swear to God.
We've been with the traveler and the light for how many years now? Like I would need a good reason to switch from the light powers to go to the darkness. Like it can't just be for shits and gigs. It can't be like, oh, because it's the cool thing and all that. I feel like they need to ingrain that, and it can't be through no lore cards, none of that. Like you need to tell it for everyone to know, like, this is what the Traveler truly is.
Can you
and if you side with the Traveler,
Can you imagine if they gave you a choice
that's
and
what
then
it
like
is.
you
That's
had
been
to pick
hinted
a
at
side
since
with your
D1.
Guardian, and then it was final, like you couldn't switch, so then you'd always be like evil or good at that point? Oh my god, that'd be so awesome.
I mean, and that's the other thing. It's been hinted at so much.
There would have to
by,
be a
you know,
reason for
everyone's
us to
saying like,
switch,
"Oh, the
though.
Traveler's a charlatan and all that," and or the Speaker's a charlatan, and do you know if the Traveler's really good or not? It's been hinted at so much throughout the years. So I feel like you, at this point,
Oh my
before
God,
D3, and if that leak is a real thing, you kind of got to give people a true reason to switch.
I mean, it would have to be the power. But the story would have
That's
to
what
be,
I want from D2.
It would have to be something that would have to. Yeah, I guess you're right. It would have to be more than just the power. Got one. Hold on,
I
there's
had
a
a
star.
mouse and
There's a guy
keyboard.
coming.
These people
Oh
will all be
no, he
dead.
got me.
Just want y'all to know this. Let's see. For me to want to pick up D3, what is it going to need to take? It's going to need to be no longer resetting
reset our
us
gear
based
again?
off of content-wise. You know, I'm okay with resetting the gear. That's
terms
fine.
of-
As long
I
as it's
want
in
my
terms of-
inventory
I'm talking about more
to
so.
stay. I want everything to stay just
I'm talking
like
about-
they have it now.
No, no,
and
no,
I
no.
can go
I'm
back
talking
and
about
get
more
it, but it should
so-
be shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mocked.
Nah. I'm okay with my inventory disappearing, but it's more. I'm talking about more so like they built something with Forsaken. We can all agree with that. Forsaken brought something back that it needed desperately to have. Build on that. Don't just reset and be like, haha, we had such a great end to D1, but now we're gonna shaft everybody and give you this shell of a game in D2 that has us not playing for long at all, and then we're just like, well, why didn't you build off of what you had in D1? I think that's one thing they kind of just need to do. And again, don't start off with a shell of a game. Give us something like Forsaken
they
and
were trying
build
to
up
go
on
too
Forsaken.
casual. That's the
That
problem
will
that got
keep
them
people around.
in the position that they're in now. And it's like, how do you
that's
monetize
just my
after
idea.
everybody thinks you're not good as a publisher because everything's been monetized? Damned if you do and damned if you don't, you know?
Yeah, they lost a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people came back. Yeah, a lot of people did come back for you know, the release of D2. There was a lot of people here. A lot of people were hyped up for it, myself included. But after a while, you start seeing all these people kind of drop off, and you're just like, why? What's going on? So they need to figure out a happy medium where, yes, they need to, you know, go for their hardcore people, because that's the people that's always going to bring you in money. Also, kind of make sure that casuals can kind of dip into it a little bit. Be like, okay, I can play this every single day for maybe an hour or so and still be okay. But then still make sure your hardcore people are being like, I can play for almost 8 hours and I'm still good right now. So find that happy medium. That's that. I don't know. D3 is going to be tough. People have black eyes and they're tired of Bungie.
I hear that. I mean, you know,
That's
you
that's
look
all
on the
it is.
Reddit
People are
forums
tired
and
of it.
everybody's still mad and flaming about the like how it costs like $180 to get to this point, and I think that's the part that actually has people sour. And I know that they can't give anything away for free, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how you get the people who already thought that this was, you know, this game had so much potential with the story that it could have told, and then the gameplay, you know, synchronized with it, and then being able to take all your stuff that you find in this world and to compete against each other. It was already great, and then they kind of, you know, they messed with greatness by going casual, and that it was just too much. The burn was too great. I don't know if they can get them back, but I mean, if they're going on like how they say they are, and these rumors are true, then I'll probably be back for D3. I don't know how many other people will be, though. If it's consistent, maybe they'll be able to get, you know, the people that they never got before. And if they have like a lore that can encompass everything, like a library or something in the tower that you can go and like have pictures, or how they had the moving the moving dialogue how they had when you first come into D2, and then they tell your story about all your triumphs and stuff. Like if they were able to, you know what I'm saying? Like if they had that as like, oh, and then you went and slayed Oryx and blah blah blah, or you know how you do on the strikes and stuff.
Yeah, let's not forget about the fact that they have forgot that we killed Oryx. We're not an Iron Lord anymore. Like,
but if they add all that stuff into the game for D3, then like I feel like even the new players that they hadn't encompassed before, they would be able to get and be like, oh, look at all this stuff. This is what happened previously, and then they might even be able to get like a collector's edition or something going. I'd still love to see the old Crucible maps that they had back in here, if that was possible. I don't know if it is though. But yeah.
So I think we've all touched on quite a few things. So I'll just try to get final thoughts from everyone. Just if you got something that you want to wrap up with.
I mean, they definitely have the potential to bring it back to the quality and the prestige that Bungie had before, you know, the 4-year Destiny, you know, adventure or whatever you want to call it. So I think the series still has legs, but they got to come with these next 3 seasons or whatever it is that they're called. They have to actually produce some measure of quality that we haven't seen. Bring back trials, update the UI to give us, you know, the leaderboards, or update the Crucible. Something's got to happen, because otherwise it's not going to be the game that everyone wants to play.
Fine. They need to just do some quality of life stuff. Build off of what you've done from Forsaken. Make it, and make sure you carry it over into your next game. Build off of that. Don't digress. Don't go back to what you really had, or regress, or whatever it is. Whatever the word is I'm trying to say here. Don't go back and start all over with what you had. You know, Iron. What was it? The Rise of Iron DLC was great towards its end. Even though it was a rushed product and it was not something that was thought of at the time, and it just ended up coming up because of the delay of D2. Build off of what you have. Don't start over. Don't be like, all right, we built this, now we're gonna go back and not build on that anymore. You know, build off Forsaken. Give us a game that has what Forsaken had at the beginning. Give us small DLCs, and then give us a huge one. Maybe if that is possible, you know, something like that. And of course, quality of life stuff. Give us some way to look for other people in game, not on all these other websites we have. No, you're good. Like, give us something to look for other people in game. What is it? What is it that they use now? What is this thing that they use now? Nah. What is this?
Guided games.
When you want to look for other people to play with as far as raids go. Guided games sucks.
It's pretty terrible though.
Guided games sucks. Give us a board. Give us something.
I know that's one of the reasons my
do that.
My cousin.
A lot of people probably will enjoy it more. Of course, there'll be always the same people. Yeah, like there's a lot of reasons. Like that's one of the biggest reasons a lot of people just don't play. There's no way for them to do it, and nobody wants to go into another website to do it. So that's all I have to say about it. You know, build off of what you have as far as Forsaken. Give us something that's great, like the start of this, able to
I'm still
sustain
doing
for a
stuff
few
in
months.
this game, so I think it's actually kind of perfect in terms of the longevity of the Forsaken, like being able to. Oh shit.
Don't be lost.
So just for me, I know everyone who's listening, we've been very, very hypercritical of Bungie, but I think that we're hypercritical because we really, really love and enjoy this game. We wouldn't be if we really didn't care about it. Like, there's a reason why you've never seen me make a Division video. But moving on. This game is really great. There's a lot of lore. It has a lot of stuff going on for the best, and I think we all really enjoy this game. So We're not haters. All right, we just enjoy this game so much, and we just want to see it be the best that it can be. So, and for me, that's just great weapons, a great integration to play with friends and randoms, all within one universe. Just give me that, and I'm like talking really weird because I'm just not happy with what just happened on screen a second ago. All right, so yeah, I mean, it's oh my god, I'm so not happy for and it happened again. So
I was a part of that one.
So no, this is a really great and fun game. I probably will get D3 no matter what happens, but just hoping that a lot of changes are made between here and now for the better. I think that wraps it up. Of course, we're gonna run this one out. Win, lose, or draw.
I've seen enough.
Win, lose, or draw.
I'm calling this one.
I shouldn't have done that.
Cut it.
I shouldn't have done
Cut
that.
it.
I shouldn't have.
We are getting destroyed. Don't put
We
this.
can edit this out. Oh my god.
No. Now you have to leave it after that. After that statement, you have to leave it.
Oh,
You heard it. Oh, look at that. We got skunked. There we go. Perfect. Great way to end this thing. Keith, sign us off here. That is great.
was
I'm done
bad.
with this.
Everybody, thank you for watching. Yeah, just thanks for watching. I'm sorry you had to see that.
Don't worry. I got this, Keith. Hey, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to leave us a comment. Tell us how you think about D2 and if you think you're ready for D3. Don't worry about the stats on the thing. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know how we doing. Thank you, B, for joining us today on
Shout
this
out,
great
B.
video. He didn't even say nothing. All right. We will catch y'all next
All right,
time.
everybody. Peace.
We're out. Peace.